What's up guys, Gunnyboy here today, and I am making another Tf2 weapon prop, one of my personal favorite weapons, the Spy's Butterfly Knife. As you can see here, I have found an image online of the knife, sized it to the appropriate size that I wanted it for my hand, so the whole thing's about 10 inches long, and then traced it on the wood. So next I'm going to saw out the parts for the knife. So to make this butterfly knife, there are 6 basic parts. Here's what it looks like all together. Here are the parts. We have the top part of the handle, the bottom part of the handle, the swing around catch, and the blade. To make these, I jigsawed them out of that piece of wood you saw earlier. The top part of the handle should look like this. 2 pieces, similar in shape, but not completely identical, because it's more of a cartoonish look. You want to drill a hole about here, and also make an identical piece to this here, and drill a hole in the same place. When you line them up, they'll look like this. Same thing with the other side of the handle. Make an identical piece, but don't drill a hole here, because it's not needed. For the catch, make this simple shape that is a circle with a rectangle coming out of it. This will loop around the other part of the handle here and catch it to hold it closed, but then swing back around to let it fly open. The blade is a standard knife style blade, Skinner blade, with 2 holes drilled here that line up with these holes on the top of the handle pieces. This way the blade will be able to move freely about the handle, like so. Next we're going to make the end piece on the catch. To make this, cut out a small rectangle of cardboard. Next, fold the piece in half and around the catch at the end. Make sure to leave a little bit of space here for the cardboard so that we can bend it. Finally, put a little bit of hot glue inside that pocket there, and then while holding this part of the piece, take your other finger and push it down until it forms this triangular shape, and then hold it so it hot glues against the end of the piece. Now we're going to put it all together. To do this, take a toothpick and run it through the holes in the handle and catch, as you see here. Next, make a narrow strip of tape. Then spool the tape around the end of the toothpick, like this, so that it forms a stopper. Once you've done the same thing with the other side, clip off the toothpicks a little bit so that you're only left with these small discs around the sides. Fold a piece of cardboard over in half and hot glue it right about here on the other side of the handle. Then put hot glue on the other side and sandwich the 2 halves together. Make more axles like you did with the first part and you're done. Now you have a completed Spy Butterfly Knife. Well, except for paint. Other than that, it's complete. Next we're going to deal with painting the model. And to do this, here, as you can see, I've used my metallic paint on one side and really gotten it so it looks like real metal. I'll flip it over to the other side, and I'm going to refocus my camera. Like this. Next I'm going to take a little bit of this metallic paint that I bought. I'm going to some on this cardboard and take one of my brushes. First I have to lay this camera down first. Dry off this brush on a paper towel, like so. Next I'm going to dip it into this paint here, and then start dry brushing, which means brushing without wetting the brush, the handle. And see how I'm stroking down? This is what you want to do to cover it. You want to make smooth down strokes like this, and you want to cover as much of the wood as you can this way, and as you progress, get lighter and lighter with the strokes, and that'll get what you want out of the painting. So we're going to paint all of this around here at the top. Don't worry about getting paint on the parts that are going to be a lighter color, because we're just going to repaint those right over it. Since it's acrylic, it's no problem repainting over an existing color. Once it dries, it just becomes like plastic. So now that I've vertically dry brushed the handle, I'm going to make a metallic look. And this is how I'm going to do that. First, I'm going to refocus the camera, and as you can see, everything is along this vertical line, but I want this metallic look. I want it to look like real metal. So I make quick side strokes like this with the brush, all the way up, and just repeatedly do this a bit. Very light. Now, as you can see, I'm left with this metallic looking texture. So do this with both sides of the handle using the gray metallic paint. One thing I want to mention here real quick is that before I thought you would have to spool around the ends of these axles to keep it spinning. You can actually hot glue these ends of these axles to the handle, and the blade will still spin freely. So I recommend doing this so it doesn't fall apart after you use it a lot. Otherwise it will, and you'll have to keep pushing it back together. Now we're going to move on to painting the blade. For this, I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush, but I'm going to do the same method. Put some paint on it, do some vertical strokes to get the paint on. And if you'll notice here, I'm using sterling silver metallic acrylic paint for the blade, because I wanted it to be a lighter color than the handle. So, continuing to paint the blade, and then you do these scuff marks, little scratches like so. To change the direction of the veins, and then you're left with this nice metallic look like that. So do this for the whole blade and all of these parts, the catch and all the axles. Next thing you want to do is this. You want to cut out 2 of these circles each. Cut out 2 of these small ones, and then 2 of these Pac-Man-ish ones, which are slightly larger. You want to take each one of these circles and cut it in half, then hot glue it to the bottom handle of the knife. This will look like screws, as you see these screws here. Glue the 4 pieces onto the body and paint all the parts sterling silver except for the handle. To finish up the handle, simply take some electrical tape like this, cut it into strips, and wrap 2 strips around each side of each handle face. And then you'll have the bands that you see on the Spies butterfly knife. Finally spray your knife with some clear coat and you are done. Okay, so this completes my tutorial video on how to make a replica of the Spy knife from Team Fortress 2. As you can see, the knife is dry and it has a nice metallic texture to it. Even though it's wood, the metal looks realistic, so it gives you this nice, genuine metallic look for a dummy wood prop. And so, in the Meet the Spy video, I want to point this out. Spy opens up his knife in a very fancy way. He goes like this. He also closes it like this. And this is the butterfly knife, or a balisong knife. This is called opening up a balisong. And the way you do this, I want to teach it to you real quick so you can impress whoever you want to by doing this like a Spy. First, you need to know a few things. This is the blade. This is called the bite handle. Because if you're holding this handle and swinging it around, the sharp end of the blade will cut you. But since this is a wooden knife, it won't. If you're practicing with a real balisong, don't hold the bite handle. This is the safe handle here. As long as you're holding this, only the back of the blade will hit you, and it will not cut you because it's just the back. So that's why it's called the safe handle. To open up this prop or any balisong knife, you hold the safe handle on the bottom, hold the bite handle on the top, and I'm going to loosen it up a little bit so it just works the first time. Hold the bite handle on the top, but only hold the safe handle. Swing it around like this, over your knuckles, right? And then hold your grip like this, turn it a little bit in your wrist, so that when you swing it back, it goes over your wrist like so. And the more it torques this way, the better. Then open up your fingers like this, and your thumb, hold the knife on the side with your thumb. The more space you give, the better. And then to completely open it, swing it back and forth like that, and grab the handle. Very simple. Once it's open, if you want to close it, hold the safe handle, bite handle on the bottom, like so. Swing the bite handle around, over your thumb, grip this part, so when you swing it back it goes over your knuckles. Then open up your thumb, move your fingers out of the way, so when you close it, closes nice like that. So the whole thing, you get it right, looks like this. Thanks for watching.